sweet spot. I'm feeling good. The sun is shining. I knew it would. The world's a playground. I'm in the clouds. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm on the big stage. I got my crew. I'll get you moving. It's what I do. The party's starting. It's going down. Let me show you what it's all about.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Greg here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's Friday night. We know everyone is tired. This full moon, I've been reading through the comments on Facebook, and this full moon has made us all thankful for the weekend. So we know you're all tired, but we're thankful that you're here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about ESGI, and I'm going to walk you through some of my favorite parts of ESGI, show you how to do some things using ESGI, and talk about why we love it so much. We want to remind everyone to sign up for ESGI using the code SMORGY. That gets you a 60-day free trial. And if you sign up today or tomorrow, you're also entered into a drawing, and you can win this super cute In My Teacher Era prize box. And so inside there are some really cute things. There's a shirt. You got a bag, a little notepad, some stickers. You know, it's Taylor Swift, so you got to have the bracelet. Got some lip balm. Got yourself a little disco ball keychain. Here's the t-shirt. They're super soft. Looks like that. All right. So again, you can get entered to win that box simply by signing up for a free 60-day trial of ESGI using the code SMORGY. It's right there on your screen. It's esgisoftware.com. It's a no obligation free trial. You put in the code, you get your 60 days, and you'll be entered for the giveaway. So let's talk about ESGI. I'm going to walk you through it. Please hit the share button. Invite your friends to join us so they can see what ESGI is all about, and they can see why it saves so much time, why it is my #1 must-have classroom tool, because it makes my job easier. We know teachers are overwhelmed. We know more and more and more keeps getting added to our plates. This is one of the ways that saves me time and reduces some of that stress, because it makes that assessment, the data collection, the progress monitoring, it makes it easier, faster, makes that family communication easier. It makes conferences easier, data meetings easier. So it's one easy way to reduce some of the stress. So I've got it pulled up here on the screen. I'm going to walk through some things. If you have any questions about any part of ESGI, just drop those in the comments and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If you want me to show you something in particular, let me know. I'll be happy to do that as well. So this is what it looks like when you log in to ESGI. So I'm logged in. We've got up here at the top, we have tabs, and you can add those, delete those, rename them, whatever you want to do with the tabs. Over here, you've got your list of kids. You can add kids. You can import kids from your roster. So like if I were to come up here and click around, I could add, like it has my school. And so it has all of the kids in the school. So I could just add them that way. You can import them that way. Or you can do it manually. You can just click the little plus sign and it lets you add a student. You can add the language, which is important because you can send home family letters. And so you can send them home in their language. It's English and Spanish right now. All right, so let's get into it. So first thing you want to do is add some tests. The great thing about ESGI is all of our kindergarten smorgasbord assessments are there, including all of our ABC Bootcamp, Number Bootcamp, all of our TKS Bootcamp assessments are there. As we're creating assessments for our curriculums, those are there as well. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of pre-made assessments that you can use, or you can create your own. So let's say I want to add a test. I'm going to come right over here. Just click add test. This pops up. You can search by name. You can search by author. You can create a new test. So let's just say I just type in my name and it pulls up all of the assessments that I have. Let's say I want to do add to 10. So I would just click the box and now it's been added. And you can, up here, you can select where you want that to go. So I'm going to put that in math. I'm going to click done. And if I go to math, oh, there it is. Add to 10. So bam, it's there. And now I want to test somebody. So it's in there. I'm just going to click on Mateo. I'm going to click test. And here's the way it works. Mateo's going to be sitting next to me. And he's going to see this screen. And he's going to say 0 plus 0 is 0. And I'm going to click yes or no down here at the bottom. Or you can use the left and right arrows. And so you can just click. And boom, instant data. Y'all, instant data. That's what we're talking about. Literally, Mateo is here for a minute. I got his assessment. I've got the data, right? And I can see it's very visual. So Mateo can say, oh my gosh, look at all that green I got. You can also, right here, you can print flashcards. So when I'm done assessing with Mateo, I can click that, print the flashcards, and it can go home. And so he can practice the things that he needs to work on. So he might need to work on numbers, right? Counting, equations. And so I can print those and send them home so that Mateo can practice. If I want to retest Mateo, I can test him again on all the questions, or I can test him on the incorrect questions. And we'll say, okay, he got them done. And there it is. I can click test details. And so if I need to edit his answers, I can. I can click history. And this one looks funny because I just literally did the test at the same time. But there's this great growth line, right? So he started here and he went here. This is a really good piece of ESGI that I love with my kids. We use this a lot with the kids because, they'll start with their baseline down here. And as you test them, that line goes up. So they can really see like, oh my gosh, as I'm learning, as I'm practicing, that line is going up. So that's what we love. Like, it's so good for the kids. And then I'm going to come over here to parent letter, right? And I'm going to click. You can select you can do all of the assessments. You can do one assessment if you want to do a specific assessment. Right? And so that's what it looks like. And it's in Spanish because his family speaks Spanish. So it says, hey, this is what we tested Mateo on. These are the ones he got right. These are the ones he got wrong. Boom. I find this much more beneficial to our families than our report cards, because the report card just says, ESPNU. Doesn't give any data, right? Doesn't give them any information. They just know that, oh, they did excellent. But this parent letter that we send home, that gives them valuable information, right? Another report that you can use is right here, the student detail. So you click on that, run your report, and it looks like this. So this can also go home. So they get the pie graph, they get that history line. They can see on the first test, they did 9. On the second test, they did 12. We also have it set up so that it aligns to our grade book, to our grading scale. And so they can also see the P and the E, but they can say, oh, they got 9 right, they got 12 right. And down here, they've got that correct, incorrect. So we're giving them a ton of information with ESGI. So the parents are actually getting very usable, understandable information so that they have a much better understanding of where their kids are and the progress that they're making. So let's go back to the test details. So here's the test, history, test, details. If I click that, you can edit their answers. So let's say I just clicked edit, and now I can move that to incorrect. So let's say I accidentally clicked the wrong arrow, right? And I'm like, oh, I need to go back in and fix that. I can fix that. And so then you can edit those answers. So you can edit their answers and then you would save it. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the reports, because there's a question about how we use it to form, how we use the assessments to form small groups for literacy and math. Well, let me just tell you this. While we're on this subject, come to Elevate 2024, because I am teaming up with Katie Knight from Teacher to the Core, and we're doing an entire session at Elevate on data. It's called Data Bros. We're going to be dressed up as Mario and Luigi. It's going to be super fun. But my part of that session is something that you don't really see in conferences. Is I'm going to do exactly this. I'm going to show you the data. Then I'm going to show you what I actually do with that data in my classroom. So we're really going to take this data idea from here's how you get the data to here's how you use it to guide your instruction. So come to Elevate, because Katie also has an amazing part of that session. So we're really going to dive into how to use data in the classroom. So one of the things you can look at, here's a report. It's the class totals report. So it gives you all of these numbers so you can see the average correct. I use this one a lot. So you can see like, okay, I can look through here and be like, okay, so I can find my kids who got, 0 to 5 correct. That would be a group. And I know that they're going to start with maybe letter name, right? And then I can kind of see the kids who got like 20 to 26, and they're going to start with sounds. And so that's how I use it to guide that instruction piece, is I start right here with the scores, and I look at the scores and I kind of group the kids based on that. Another way, and then what you can do is you can actually put your kids in groups. So once I kind of looked at the data, I kind of have those groups. I can come over here and I can actually create groups. So then I have like a progress monitoring group that I can keep track of separately from the entire class. So you can assess your whole class. You can assess them in groups. So you have kind of progress monitoring groups. Another report that we use a lot is the item analysis. This one is great for targeting instruction. For example, sight words, or if you're working on sounds, this would be a great way to target those sounds that the kids are missing. This is the item analysis, or the most missed report. So if you're looking at this, it's going to tell you how many kids got it right, how many kids got it wrong. And so these are the most missed answers. So if I'm looking at this for sounds or sight words or, something like that, I can be like, okay, these are the sounds that we need to target in whole group, because that's the ones the kids are missing the most. So I can target my whole group instruction, or I can go back and look at those class totals, and I can form small groups and target my instruction that way. So again, I would look at this and say, like, I would find the kids who are 0 to 5, and they would be a group. I would find the kids, who are 6 to 12, and they would be a group. And then I'm going to go and look at their most missed. I'm going to look at their details and see, what are they missing? Are they missing numbers? Are they missing counting? Is it number recognition? Is it the one-to-one correspondence? And then I can pull that into the small group. So if I have a group who missed most of the number recognition, that would be a small group. I'm going to do number recognition lessons with them, right? So that's how I use that data, kind of briefly, to target my instruction and form those groups. Let's see. A couple of other things that I want to show you. So we talked about adding the test, right? So you just go here, you can add test. You can also create your own test. This is great if you have district assessments, school assessments that you have to use. You just click create new test. And now ESGI has multiple options. You can do the yes, no test, which is what we saw. You can do a single score, which is a one question test. And it would basically be like counts to 5. Can they count to 5? Yes or no? Or you can do rubrics. We're actually using a lot of the rubrics now with some of our new curriculum. The rubrics are actually part of our curriculum. But they're not user friendly. And so it's a lot of paper. And so we're basically just kind of making them more teacher friendly and using them in ESGI. It's faster, it saves paper, and we get that instant data. So let's say you wanted to create a yes/no test. You just create it, you give it a title and a description, what content area. Let me just make something up. Letters. We'll put it into language arts, grade level kindergarten. You can add standards. This right here is important. There's a box that says share with district. Make sure that's clicked, because then anyone in your district who uses ESGI will have access to your assessments. All right, so got that done. Now we're going to add a question. So I clicked add a question. It looks like this. The question name is the answer. Okay. And it took, when I first started using ESGI, this part threw me a lot. The question name is the answer. So I'm going to say A because that's the answer. The directions, I'm going to say, tell me the letter. Then I'm going to come down here, double click A. And now you can copy the content. So this says copy content to next question. So you can click that and it's going to transfer that to the next box. So it would be B, tell me the letter, and I would come down here and change it to a B. And then I'm going to save and close. And there's my test. All right. Save and close. And now I have my test. And I'm going to add it to my pre-reading tab, and I'll be done. And I can go to pre-reading. Oh, there it is. And I can click test, and there's my test. Boom, done. Got my answers, got my flashcards. So there you go. So that's how you create a test. Let me see. I want to find, I know we have some rubrics. Let me see if I can pull one of those up. Here's one. So here is what the rubric looks like. So if I were testing one of my kids, or if I were basically doing a rubric, this is what it would look like. And so we've created the rubric. And so the way it works is, as they're doing their presentation, I'm going to click on the boxes. And as I'm doing that, they're assigned a value. And then I'm going to hit submit. And look at that. Got some great data. You can see their score. Again, with the history, the test details, and there it is. All right. So now let's see. I'll show you the parent letter for the rubric. It looks like this. So basically it says there were 16 points possible and he got 8. So those are the rubrics. So we are using a lot of the rubrics. I know rubrics are a really big thing. And so like if you do a lot of observation checklist type things, those rubrics are really, really helpful and beneficial. When you create a rubric, it gives you some templates to use. So you can do a reading, oral language, writing, math, or you can create your own. And so it kind of gives you like this is a reading. So are they reading fluently? Are they on pace? Those kinds of things. Do they use their decoding strategies? And then you can enter the descriptions. You can add or take away levels. So if you want more or less points, you can do all of that. And that's the great thing about this, is that you can create any assessment for any skill, for any standard. Anything you need to assess, you can do it in ESGI, because you can create the yes/no test. You can create the single score. You can create rubrics. And so I know when we're looking at assessments, we're talking sometimes about like, oh, it's a checklist. Well, we have to create a checklist. And then how do you give that a grade, right? Well, now you just create the rubric in ESGI and it's got points assigned to it, and you've got your grade. So that's the rubrics have been a really big addition to ESGI. It's one of the things that we're using the most right now. Again, the family communication piece, those parent letters, the flashcards, you can even do writing practice. And so you can do name writing practice. You can do sight words. we've actually used the sight word writing in our class. And what we did was we really took it to the next level. So we gave them letter tiles. And so they had to decode the word, spell the word, and write the word using the writing pages from ESGI. So that was a really cool way to use those. And then, of course, for name writing, you can also create bingo cards. Kids love bingo. And now you don't have to struggle to create them. So you just click bingo. It's right here under student activities. You click bingo. Let's begin. And you can talk, what kids do you want to play? Everybody's playing. What do you want to practice? Let's say I wanted to do lowercase letters. I'm going to click that. Click the arrow. This is what it looks like. You can adjust the size of the grids. You can adjust if it's harder, easier. So we're going to say medium. Will the game be played in the classroom at the student's home? How many times do you want to play? Call sheet. So basically it does it all for you. And when you download the game, it downloads it to your computer. And it downloads, if I remember right, there it is. It downloads like this. So it gives you your call sheet. And then it actually has the bingo cards. And they have the kids' names on them. So you know who it belongs to. Let's see. All right, and then you're ready to go. And so you can just call off your call sheet. And so you would know which ones that you have called. And you can play bingo. So that's another way that you would use the data piece, because you could assess your kids, and then you would use the bingo cards to practice, right? You could use them in small group or whole group. So that would be another way to take that data that you gathered from ESGI to guide your instruction. All right, let's see. We've talked about adding kids. We've talked about how to add tests, how to make a test. There's also this feature right here called Launch Student Screen. And so basically what this does is it puts the test on a separate device. So the kid is seeing the questions on their screen, and you're seeing it on your screen. And so maybe they're not sitting right next to you, but maybe they're sitting across the table from you. And so it gives you a code, you enter the code, it shows up. And so then you can test them that way as well. And so basically what that does is it takes away when you test, it takes away the stuff on the bottom. Like it takes away all of this stuff. So it's not as distracting for the kids. So all the kids would be seeing on their screen would be the question. Let's see. Untested students. So basically it says, hey, these kids haven't been tested in the last 2 weeks, or you can change it to 1 week or whatever. So this is really helpful. Like if you are doing like an assessment on Friday and you're like, oh, who did I not get to test? Instead of scrolling through trying to figure out who didn't get tested, you would just click on the untested students and you could be like, oh, okay, I need to test Hashi. And so I would test Hashi. So that just kind of helps keep you organized. So if you have any questions about ESGI, let me know. I'll be happy to answer those. I know there were a couple. I think we got those answered. Again, if you aren't using ESGI, you need to. It's going to save you time. It's going to be less stressful. It makes data collection, assessment, family communication easier. Just sign up using the code SMORGY, and that gets you a 60-day free trial to use ESGI. And then that will also save you $50 off of the subscription price. The great thing is that if you sign up using the code SMORGY and your free trial ends and then you subscribe, you don't lose your data. So if your data from your free trial will still be there, so you'll be able to use it and keep your data. And don't forget, if you sign up today or tomorrow using the code SMORGY, you're going to get you're going to be entered into a drawing to win a In My Teacher Era goodie box with all kinds of fun goodies from ESGI. There's a t-shirt, a pen, a notebook, a bag. mints. There's a disco ball keychain, so it's super fun. So the only way to get entered for that drawing is to sign up for ESGI today or tomorrow. The giveaway ends September 30th, and that also gets you a 60-day free trial, and it will save you $50 off of your sign-up fee if you decide to sign up. And yes, like Brian said, once you use it, you're hooked. That's how it happened with me. I started using it. I had heard of it a little bit 10 years ago, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll try it. And I started using it, and it was just mind-blowing just because it saves you so much time. It's so easy, and you can basically do every assessment that if you want. Now, we still do paper pencil assessments, right? Because kids need that as well. But anything we can do on ESGI, we do it because it's just so fast. We get that instant data. It's easy for the families to understand. It's easy for the kids to understand. So it really is beneficial for everybody. And so, right, I'm hooked, right? Denise is hooked. That's the thing. You can also use Donors Choose to get this funded. That's a lot of teachers will do that. If you don't want to pay for it, or if your school or district won't pay for it, you can also use Donors Choose as well. So if there are no other questions about ESGI and about how to use it, about the features, then we'll start to wrap this up. I also want to remind everybody that early bird pricing for Elevate ends tomorrow, September 30th. So if you want to come to Elevate Nashville, Phoenix, or Dallas, sign up now before the price goes up. So it's content-driven, in-person, professional development. It's all research-based. Every presenter is in the classroom or in a school. You're not going to find that at other conferences. All of our presenters are currently working in schools and in classrooms. Everything is research-based. Everything is practical. Even the props, even the decorations that we have at Elevate are DIY. We made them out of cardboard boxes and trash cans. Get registered. You will not regret it. Jack Hartman, Gary Brooks, Kim Bearden, Cuckoo is going to be in Nashville. It's just going to be a phenomenal experience. You're going to be inspired. You will laugh. You will cry. You will be rejuvenated. But more importantly, you're going to leave with a notebook, because we're going to give you a notebook. You're going to leave with a notebook full of ideas and strategies that you can implement in your classroom immediately. That's another thing that sets Elevate apart, is that what the presenters are giving, what they're sharing is all realistic. It's practical. It's easy. It's doable. It's not a $50,000 projection system that you have to buy. It's stuff that you can walk out of that ballroom and you can go right into your classroom and do it. So get registered. You don't want to miss out. If you don't take our word for it, go look at social media, look at the website, look at what other teachers are saying who attended Elevate this past summer, and you will see that you do not want to miss out. Come join 6,000 teachers and become a part of the Elevate family. You will absolutely have the best time. We will spoil you. You will have it's just so much fun. The energy and the excitement is unmatched. And so head over to elevateyourclassroom.com and get registered today or tomorrow before the price goes up. You do not want to miss out on that early bird price. But even then, this is the most affordable conference out there. We are half the cost of other conferences, and that's on purpose because we want as many of you to be able to join us as possible. So we deliberately keep that cost as low as possible. So head over to esgisoftware.com, sign up for ESGI using your code SMORGY. That gets your 60-day free trial. It saves you $50 off of your sign-up fee if you decide to register. Use the code SMORGY today or tomorrow at ESGI, and you get entered into the drawing for the Teacher Era prize box. Head over to elevateyourclassroom.com. Get registered to join us in 2024 in Nashville, Phoenix, or Dallas. Get registered today or tomorrow before the early bird price ends. All right. If you are watching this live later and you have questions about ESGI, drop those questions in the comments and we will get we'll get those questions answered. So thank you so much. Everyone have a great weekend, get some rest, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye, everybody.